Corona. See, exactly. So yeah. So those are the type of mental illnesses that students could have, people should have, not should, but could have, and I feel like most of us have one of these illnesses, but not to a certain extent. And then there's people who have it on a bigger level.
Yeah.
I feel as a black person, we probably have all of them, like a little though.
No.
Because of how the world has tuned us. You know,
and how now our parents are like, depression. What is that?
What is that? You see?
What is that? Sugar.
So you're not allowed
not
to.
Only our parents though, like even our peers would say that I got not depression.
Exactly.
Yeah,
she's seeking attention or some sort.
I don't understand also Nami why they would say Nya ex. Firstly, it's embarrassing to just be a certain way. Like I'm just like, oh my god. So why would I be acting,
Yeah.
Why would I be acting to be sad? Why would I be sad on purpose? What attention am I seeking when I am pretending to be sad?
Yeah.
Well, actually, no. I'm seeking maybe, love and thingy, but like, it gets tiring.
Such instances where people will say, I'm about to commit suicide. Just guti ukay amnage or ukay amnage. There are those instances, but then sometimes singati that person is just seeking attention. You must actually give it attention to see is that person really acting or vele there's something wrong with that person.
It's always a thing of speaking.
Yeah.
Speaking on the suicide thing, like super serious.
Okay.
If someone says, "Bro, I've had enough. Angisakhoni la my studies, magwami, fatwami, ngiyadibulala." Is that really like suicidal symptoms? Or is real suicidal symptoms when you just do it?
No, those are suicidal symptoms. You angeke uvuke ekseni uvela ucabanga ukuthi I'm going to kill myself. When you are at a perfect state of your mind, you won't wake up. Now, I'm sure today, you were not like, I'm tired of going to work, I want to kill myself. You had a positive thought when you woke up that, okay, today this is my schedule, this is what I have to go through. That's someone who's normal. But mundo don't feel you know what, I'm done.
Okay.
And it's a thing that's been happening for a while. Like someone who is suicidal does not just wake up one day and it's like, it's a thing of every day they've been thinking about it.
Yeah.
They've been sad, they've been offline, they've just been off, man. That's why it's important to have friends that care for you, and when they notice that, I know, man, I know, doesn't consider, it's something that's just different about you that is something that you wouldn't do it on a normal basis. That's when you're like, nah, kinda in the shy I go here.
When you guys actually put it that way, I have a lot of friends who are depressed, but then we have Bev. So but on a serious note, I think this is gonna, I think this might help me, and I might like have a little chat with Usis Dini after the studio session.
Yeah.
Because I actually might have some friends who might just be in that state. So yeah, this is actually like a good topic.
Okay, so when it comes to anxiety, so basically if you don't know if you have anxiety or not, basically anxiety hits you randomly. You just lose the ability to concentrate, you start breathing, and man, you feel like your blood is just rushing, and I feel like most of the time people will confuse that with, I don't know, overheating. When someone's just not educated by something. So anyway, anxiety can affect your ability to concentrate, sleep, and carry out ordinary tasks at work, home, or school. People with anxiety disorders often feel they have to avoid stressful situations and, in extreme cases, avoid going out altogether. Physical symptoms are common and include shortness of breath, a pounding heart, and trembling hands. Do you think you've ever had anxiety?
Only when I saw like a girl I really liked. Other than that, I'm never faced.
And also, guys, when we speak about mental illness, we're not talking about like crazy people, by the way. We're not talking about the people that are there in the mental institutions. No. We all have a mentality.
Exactly.
And now we're just trying to get your mentality on the upside, on the brighter side of things, because we live in a generation, there's so many things happening. There's social media telling us this, telling us that. You feel pressured. You see people succeeding and you feel like, yo, when am I gonna succeed? And then obviously that affects your mental health. And you're just like, I'm not good enough. I'll never get there. You start pickering yourself. Start saying, yeah, no. Start telling yourself bad things. Start speaking negatively. And then obviously the negative will happen. And then you just fall into depression. You fall into just... your mental well-being just goes south. So... It's something that attacks and gets to all of us, and this chat is basically about you realizing what your mental illness is, the ones that I've mentioned, like the mood swings, the bipolarness, the anxieties, the PTSD. It's about you identifying what it is exactly that you have, so that you're able to then work on it and work with it to actually just staying on the upper side level of your mental health.
Damn.
Hey, Nkulumile, man. Hey, I spoke a lot. So now with Varsity, what types of mental issues do you think we face in Varsity?
Stress, depression. Yeah, those are the
pressures.
Pressures, yes, exactly.
Stress exam.
Yeah. The society of university itself is something else. Because, good tough for university, guys. It's very tough. You'd see someone walking around, I'm from UP, I'm from UJ, I'm from UMP. But in actual fact, they are going through a lot. A lot. And we don't speak much about the stress that we actually go through as varsity kids. We joke around like, yo, guys, go tell yo, I'm at the bottom. Some people are really at the bottom and they're not really talking about it. As we joke around about it, because it's like, it's a joke, everything, it's school. Then there's people whereby lendo, because firstly, there's pressures from back home. Yep.
I feel like most of the time, people really go through the most is because there's pressure outside of themselves. Someone can obviously be in a mental situation because of themselves, but then the ones that come from the outside are things that we can't control, therefore then becomes a problem. You can deal with yourself. I get myself stressed now. I can deal with myself because I can control my emotions, my feelings, my everything. But now when it comes from outside people, from your family members, from friends, from whoever your funder, it becomes a whole lot because you can't control that environment. So it becomes difficult, and then you just fall into depression. You become too stressed, and you can't concentrate, anxiety, etc.
But in most cases, all these different stresses, depression and everything comes from the people that are close to your heart. People that you trust with your whole being.
Oh, true.
So that is why people who are depressed, who are going through the most in life, resort to suicide. It's because they end up without anyone. There's no corner they can go to where they feel safe and so forth. Because the only person that I think that is close to my heart that I can trust and give everything that's going on in my life to is someone who's hurting me. That's how they resort to suicide, because they don't know how to deal with it then.
Wait, you're saying someone that you can speak to, someone who hurts you?
People, in most cases, not every time.
Okay.
People that are closest to your heart are the people who hurt you the most. Let's put this in a scenario. We are not that close, right?
Okay.
I can't be depressed because you're not talking to me.
Okay.
I can't be depressed because you spoke about
me. Like in relationships. I get what you mean. You actually do become depressed because your man's not talking to you. Yeah. But then now we're talking about in terms of school.
Yeah.
Okay, so besides it being about, we'll discuss the relationship parts, the how they affect us as well. But in terms of school, the mental, issue with school, what is it exactly? Is it the pressures that we get from home, or is it the pressure that we give ourselves, or is it the pressure of, oh damn, these kids are passing, what about me? Which one is it exactly?
All of them. All of the above. Because if you come from a family background where it's not, you have a pressure, my mom at home, I have siblings at home, I must be the first one to graduate at home. And at the same time, you're failing your assignments because at some point you're a slow learner. Sometimes you don't understand things. They have to explain to you a lot of times. You understand? And then there's pressure that, he's passing more, but we in the same class.
And it's grooving.
Exactly. Me, I'm always in the library, but my marks are always lower.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Then how does one actually deal with that? Like, especially that's now you just pulled off now. Like the fact that okay, Tina Bom Groove is here, passes a groover, and then there's this one who's always in the library studying but does not pass as well as a person that grooves. How do you then deal with it as that person who doesn't pass but always attends the library? Like what do you do?
Yo, guys, you need to talk to someone about it.
Okay.
There's nothing that's going to go above that. You need to talk to someone about that, and you need to talk to people and say, you know what, guys, this subject, this one, hey, it's moving me. What must I do? How do you do it? Even pride won't take you anywhere. Pride won't get you great marks. You need to ask. We would see this is happening. So how do I get to where you are? You need to talk to a psychologist at some point.
But then I not to push psychologists to the side. Talking to a psychologist doesn't help with my marks, and I'm sure a lot of people feel the exact same way.
Now, here's what I'm trying to say when I say talk to a psychologist. At some point, as you said, it's not just academics. Maybe the thought of you forcing yourself to study every day because you want to be the first graduate at home, you have to deal with that issue before you start dealing
Yeah,
with
you're doing it for the wrong reason.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You must get a right reason to do it. Don't do it because you want to impress your mother. At the end of the day, it's not your mother who's going to be a psychologist. If you don't want to be a psychologist while you want to be a lawyer, but you're doing psychology because then your mother is forcing you to do it, then you won't pass. That's what I'm actually trying to say, that you must try and fix the issue that's forcing you to do whatever you're doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shall we touch on them Jolo? Jolo's ugly maza hell. Jolo's on
katas.
You know, guys.
Okay.
Very
So
sensitive.
with them Jolo ne, I honestly get what you mean. Good team Jolo can get you depressed because the person that is hurting you is the one that's closest to you. So obviously boyfriend, girlfriend,
Best friend. Yeah.
you know.
Brother.
Yeah.
And I'd like to say the reason why that's like that is because as human beings, we all have attachment issues, but to a certain degree.
Yeah.
So obviously when people close to us and not talking to us, we feel a little, I don't what do I call it? Let's show you my dictionary. We feel a little
Overwhelmed.
I know. I don't know, we feel a little what is this thing?
Flabbergasted.
No,
What is it?
separation anxiety. Yeah, we
Oh.
feel separation anxiety. I think there's so many different types of anxiety. You know, it's like when you separate from your boyfriend for like 2 seconds, like oh my
Yeah.
baby, oh my baby. Oh my
Yeah.
baby. So
So
the
that's a
depression
real
part, though, yeah, it's a real thing. But the depression part, though, is not to say that it's because you don't talk to your mentor, but it's because you are not receiving what you expected.
Yep.
Or what you're giving.
Or what you're giving, yes.
Yes.
But sometimes I realize that just because you give certain things doesn't mean you must expect it back.
Hypo.
Exactly. No.
Yeah.
Human
Not
beings,
all
hold
the
up.
time.
Hold up. Human beings, ne? As human beings, just because I am giving you 3 million rand doesn't mean now I must expect 3 million rand back.
Exactly.
As human beings, you do something because you want to do it. Do it.
I'm not
ne?
speaking about the 3 million rands.
Okay, Sharp, let me be specific. Let's say you and I are in a relationship, ne? I'm giving you all the love that I can, all the love that you need, etc., and then you're not giving it back to me. I've done my part in this relationship. You then need to what's his word? You need to then introspect yourself. I don't know.
Introspection.
Introspection. So have a little introspection with yourself. Would see.
Right.
This honey loves me. She gives me everything I need, everything I want. What am I doing for her? Then that's when you think, I man. Right, Muslana. You know,
Yeah.
that's when you then think. So me, as the honey, I mustn't expect anything. Honestly, but as human beings, we always expect the same thing that we give. Reciprocation, basically, of which then everyone needs to have that kind of mentality of give
So
what you
are
receive.
you fighting the reciprocation thing, or you with it?
I am in between. No, do you know why I'm in between? And I'm in between because as humans, we shouldn't expect anything back. But at the same time, as humans, if you know what reciprocation is, and if you know, what you give, what you get, you must give back. If you are a proper human,
You must give more even.
must give more even. Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. I'm in between. Good say, as humans, no, just don't expect because you'll be disappointed. Then depression, wabona right now. What I'm talking about. Good see, most of the time we're depressed because what we're getting from our spouses is not what we were expecting.
Yeah.
Expectations ruined everything. So as a human being, don't expect. But at the same time, as a human being on the receiving end, always give back what you receive. Let that be the common courtesy amongst us. Eh.
Okay, motivational speaker.
I should be, hey? But I must just buy my English words because English never loved me.
It runs
You're not that bad though, honestly.
I thought I was bad at some point.
No. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
Oh, I'd like to just give advice to the people out there who are currently having a bad day, a bad week, a bad month, a bad year, bad 2 years maybe. The best thing to do when you're feeling a bit depressed and feeling down, or when let's say even if your girlfriend leaves you, or your friend is like, dude, I don't want to see what you did yesterday, is just off, or you need to make a joke out of some of these things. You need to lighten up, look at it in a different perspective. When you laugh about something, you actually come up with a solution. Because if a guy, if we say, Pina, we're hitting News Cafe tonight, it's gonna be litty. Let's say you're a guy. And we've budgeted what is this? Papa my dome, Papa my veil, Mnanzo. When we have corrected it, you'll never do it again. You understand? So now, and having a laugh even when you're alone. I'm not saying only like laugh when you're with people. Have a laugh when you're alone. Like see odd stuff and just shake your head and have a laugh and type about it, text about it. Like be there. Don't be alone and you crying.
No.
So you gotta open the other eye and see it through someone else's perspective. Laugh at yourself. You're like, hey, now we're
all
so
the
miserable.
time. Actually, like actually do that. Like laughter is the best medicine. Like Google never lied. The internet never lie when they say laughter is the best medicine. And also, make happiness your default mood. I will touch on this now quickly. I just want to quickly read the actual mental illness, debate. So, the diagnosis of mental illness can be controversial. There have been many debates in the medical community about what is and what isn't a mental illness. The definition can be influenced by our society and culture, but most mental illnesses occur across all countries and cultures. This suggests that they are not just constructed by social norms and expectations, but have a biological and psychological basis too.
Yep.
So I guess more or less, like if your mama was crazy, you're gonna be crazy too.
Well, every black lady's crazy, so.
Excuse me. Sorry. Wait. What? Huh? Repeat. Save your chest again. Foods.
This is a bad space to say
It's
this.
a very, very bad space to say this. What? There's no way. There's no way you're gonna say this and actually survive.
I withdraw my statement.
Please withdraw a statement, Chief.
Unconditional.
Thank you. And I think we should also touch on the myth that we get around.
What are the myths?
Something like kids.
Togolosh.
No, bantwana.
Bantwana, man. Togoloshi.
No, that kids don't experience mental health issues. They do.
Oh yes.
But those are caused by the people around them.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, the kid
Still does. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's the point she's making, that as much as we might say kids don't see things.
Yeah.
Kids do see things.
They do.
But they just don't have the literature to actually be able to be vocal about it.
Yeah.
Because they just don't know how to speak. They don't know where to start. Because this is how you confront such a
behave.
situation. Exactly. Hence then why in an older age a child can be just offside, just like
Yeah.
and then you ask about their background. That's why most of the time psychologists usually ask, how was your childhood?
Yeah. It starts there actually. That's where the problem starts. And that's where we should be focusing at. But then Masona 2021 and this thing started when you were 14, 13, 10 years old, then You see? That's where they should start fixing the things.
Apparently, it's never too late to go to the psychologist.
Yes, it's never too late. Never.
You guys gonna hate me for this, but I agree and disagree, but I mostly disagree.
What?
For?
Because
Too late.
no, it's not too late. It's not too late. But now you have gone through your whole life with these traumas, being alone, being suicidal, being depressed. And then you picked yourself up, right? To get to an old age, you picked yourself up. You're now 22 years old, and nothing really bothers you anymore. Like, you've picked yourself up, but then there are still those things that you've never spoken about. You know, really, never really addressed it. You just feel like nah. So my thing is, when I picked myself up for so long, do I still need to go to the psychologist?
Yes. You didn't solve the issue. You ignored it.
I suppose so.
That is also a solution.
But now, if you ignore, no, it's not a solution. It's not. It's never a solution, because if you ignore it, at some point in your life, it will come back. And then how do you deal with it?
Same solution.
It does, and it also does go in tune. It kind of like wires into your personality.
Yeah. Exactly.
You become an angry person. Like, you have a short fuse. You cry too easy.
Yeah.
When you're angry, you start beating up people just randomly. So it does, but then now it depends on your strength capability. How strong are you mentally?
Yes.
You know, and I've realized that the mentally strong people that I've met are people who have gone through the most. People that have always been alone, people who just never really had anyone on their side or just anyone to speak to. They've always been speaking to themselves. So they grew strong mentally to a point where now, I still have these traumatic experiences, you know, but I'm just like, it's whatever. I chose to ignore it. I now then have realized that this is my problem. I move. Without a psychologist.
No.
That's still possible, right?
No. Okay, let's put this one. You get raped by a family member while you're 10 or so.
Yeah.
And then when you grow up, maybe you move to another family member, you stay with them, and they don't do that. You stay from 10 years, 11, 12, and then you reach a stage where you're in a relationship with someone. And then you have problems when you have to be intimate. And then how do you do that? Do you ignore it too? Because now, if that person continues raping you while you're still young, and then that person destroys you mentally. And then when you grow up, you ignore the fact that that person raped you. But now you're in a relationship with someone, you have to start having...
So you're saying speaking about it helps?
Yeah. You need to talk.
How does it help? I like to find out how it actually helps, because I've already been raped.
Yeah.
Sharp cool, now it has affected me.
Hey. Oh,
What?
we're on that topic.
Oh
I
yeah.
thought you were like, I've already been raped, and
No,
man.
I thought you were saying that. I was like, damn, girl.
No, I'm just example like.
Yeah.
Can't be phased.
Okay, let me not put myself as example. Let me say, okay, Sharp, the person has been raped, right? They grow up now, Sharp, they traumatized, mental health issues, etc. Now they have a boyfriend, and then obviously now they can't be intimate because of what has happened.
Yep.
How does talking help is my question.
When
The thing has happened. I'm
Yeah.
already destroyed.
yes, but you didn't talk about it.
What does talking help?
It
with?
helps you accept the fact that, okay, you know what, it happened. And it was never your fault.
Okay.
There's life after that.
I'm sure already a person has understood that it was not my fault, really.
No.
Men are trash, etc. Go on.
No. Have you ever watched Madia's movies?
Yes.
What happens there? Every time in her movies, there's someone who has a mental illness problem, but that person gets through that issues while she talks to her or him. They talk about the issues. It helps.
Yeah.
I
But
guess so.
What if you're just not a talkative person?
I'm not a okay, sorry, but I have to say I'm not a person who talks.
You?
I don't talk about my issues. I write down the issues, read it, and then burn it. Then I'm fine.
You?
Yeah.
Like, you don't speak about
Then
it.
that's the same thing as saying that I'm not gonna talk about it. I'll just write it down.
If you write it down, you bring it all. It's like
No,
crying
but-
helps.
It's true. It's like when you have a problem, like, it's like when you have a problem, and then the day you actually talk about it, it just feels better. Like, let's say you've been being bullied or in, and then you talk about it, like, yo, mom, yeah, muzi khalang shaya,
Yeah.
muzi tazas kaftin sam. You even feel like
There's a load that
there's
has
a
been
load that, like,
taken off.
now it's
Yeah.
my mom's problem now.
Yeah.
Like, if you tell your friend, you expect your friend the next day to say,
I see.
okay, alright. Didn't let judge. And you're like, nah, today was actually chill. Now you keep talking about this, and it becomes a normal thing. It's no more
Yeah.
that heavy burden. So I align with her.
Yeah.
So and Pina, you need to start talking. Uncle me, I'm here.
No, but I'm just saying it doesn't help. Like I don't know if I'm supposed to speak about this, but then I've been to a psychologist once, and this was this year after all the things that I've gone through.
Yeah.
And I was sitting in that room, and he was telling me things that I already told myself. Bo, it's not your fault. It was never your fault. And this, I was like, this is what I tell myself too. I know.
But now you feel much more better because you're
Much better. I felt better before I even went to that man.
No, but there's a difference that happened. Okay, fine.
The difference was, I guess I am my own psychologist.
Yeah.
That was, I guess that's the clarification I needed.
I've also been to a psychologist and it didn't really help me. It's like if you have anger issues.
Yeah.
Being at my high school thing, when I got there, they're acting like I'm always angry. You get it?
It's
like,
also.
Are you calm today?
Yeah.
Like that's what they kept asking me. And then you start to understand with these people, they studied for this thing, but they don't really understand it. Like they don't really.
They ask the exact same questions.
It's like someone
That's what you think.
is in an accident.
Yeah.
Everyone is fine, but he still has a trauma. You would expect someone in an accident, like everything is broken, and for them to be traumatized. But you wouldn't expect someone that was in an accident and they all came out walking and by go check and then everything was fine, not to be traumatized. So when they are traumatized, even the psychologist would be baffled with daughter. What's wrong?
Pela as funny. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Just like housing are funny. They should not think they can solve everyone's problems.
You know what psychologists, guys? They are not solving issues. They are helping you solve your issue.
Oh, hence then I said it's pointless because now I'm wasting how much? 1.2? How much is consultation? 1.2 just to tell someone my problems when I can just the part where you guys are like, no, at next speak.
Yeah.
Find you a friend.
Yeah.
I'm that friend to my friends, by the way. Like my guy friends, my female friends. I'm that friend. Like I will sit down, I'll listen, and I will tell you, okay, this is what you need to do. This is how you need to feel, because I feel like for some, I've gone through the most, but never in my life have I really shown it.
Yeah.
Especially in high school, like I'd never go to school sad, even though something has happened at home or whatever. I never went to school sad because I was just like, no, those things are things of that environment.
Yeah.
Maybe not bring that negativity into this environment. Even though at some point, obviously, it got to me, and then obviously a lot happened. I was at the bottom, but then I always had to find a way to pick myself up. I always had to think of, I'm in the dark tunnel again, but I know there's the light in front. So that's one thing that I feel like people who have gone through the most, I think you guys need to start sharing how you guys picked yourselves up, because Abantu are going to now waste their mind on psychologists.
Yeah.
The way they're going to tell them the exact same things over and over again.
Yeah.
Honestly, rather you then speak to someone who has gone through a similar experience or has gone through some sort of experience enough for them to be like, you know what, I know how you feel.
But we must not run away from the fact that some people cannot keep secrets. So
hence you must trust the people.
No, if you someone like me who cannot,
Trust.
speak out. Who doesn't trust easily, just write it down, read it and burn it. Then you'll be fine.
But then the paper's not telling you anything back.
Yes, but
the paper's not saying, no, you done messed up now, sis.
When you read a novel or a book or an article, what comes to your mind?
Everything I'm reading, like I'm in a different world.
You're going to bring your own perspective of what you're reading, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, true. It's like you're a different person. It's like you're reading something else.
Yeah.
But you're reading yourself now.
But now, when you read it, it's different than when you were writing.
It's like...
Oh, yes, when you're reading it after a while.
Yeah.
But you must burn it. You said you burn it.
You read it. After reading it, you burn it.
I like to read it 2 months later.
Why do you keep it?
Yeah, so I can read it 2 months later.
It's fine. If you don't want to burn it, then keep it. But keep it in a safe place.
Okay, but now what about now? Because people, like let's say, Banabafan.
Diary.
Yeah, diary basically. Banabafan, I can say, I'm the most strongest person mentally, but then obviously we also do crash sometimes.
Yeah.
And then you find someone who's the weakest link.
Yeah.
What do we say to the weakest link? Because firstly, the weakest link knows very well what's his psychology that doesn't really help. But it does help. I don't want to say it doesn't help. For me
does.
personally,
Yeah.
I feel like it doesn't help. But then for you, if it does help, continue going to psychologist, continue speaking to someone. But I prefer you speaking to someone that you trust, that is close to you, especially if it's like a best friend or someone who has gone through a similar experience, or someone like a mentor or something. But I feel like
Save your money.
besides saving money, but like they have an obligation of they need to speak to you, Vela, because you are paying for their time, and I call it an hour. Me now, when I was busy talking to myself, I don't want to say my psychologist, but like that man. I started like 5 past. On that hour, the next, not even 5 past.
And
the
it's
next
so
hour.
like time is up.
Exactly. They don't care. Like, I guess it was my bad experience, but like they really don't care. When their time is up, or else you pay
Extra.
for exactly.
Now that's the problem with people you pay. It's different. It's different when you go to some university psychologist and so forth. That's if your university have one.
Okay. That now that makes sense.
The
When
university
it's
psychologist.
someone that actually likes doing their job.
Yeah.
Okay, now then there's a difference.
Yeah.
So it's important to get the best psychologist, not
Yeah.
just someone who's just gonna really just want money.
Biggest cuts lah.
Biggest cats, big money. Nah, rather speak to a mentor, your pastor, someone with the same, I don't know, mental or actually cultural values. It's always better with the same cultural values or around the same social group.
But okay, I can see where this is going. This topic is we're on the same subject in a very broad topic.
It's very broad.
Yeah.
Very broad.
So I'm saying let's go broad as well. Let's not focus only on the psychologists and if they're helping us. Let's also go into the thing of, we talk about someone has mental issues or any. What are we doing to help that as a friend? Yeah, like even if it's not your friend, you actually make someone crazier or angrier if someone siyamati vele uyahlangela, and every time anhlangela nimtshela ukuthi ndotekela kuhlangela uyahlangela, stuff like that. So we need to stop that as a society. This thing of when someone is going crazy with videorize, someone must actually do something. So I think that's where it all starts. Before we get professional help, the guys that see it happening every day should actually like keep like step out and do something.
Yeah.
And you're correct, doesn't have to be your friend.
Yeah.
Like if you see someone is actually
Like
having
local,
a tough time,
yeah.
just go up to them and be like, are you okay today? I see that you're not doing the usual
Yeah.
the usual thing, It's like me on campus. If you start seeing me look crusty every day, well, you must ask
Something is
me
What's wrong?
what is
Something is wrong.
happening. I must
Something is
ask me
wrong.
what's happening. So you don't have to be someone's friend for you to actually speak to someone, Especially with me as well. Some people, they're not even my friends. Some people I'm not even that close to. But hey Pina, I see that you always like this. Whatever advice? No, like advice, please. 1, 2, 3 is happening. How do I go about it? And those messages kind of like make my heart a little warm. Good, see, wow, you actually do trust me. You actually came up to me, and I would gladly help you. Honestly, like I feel like we need to help people who are not as strong as you are. Hence I said that I feel like I have the strongest mentality ever, because wow, my followers know. But sometimes it's dark days, sometimes it's bright days, but it's mostly bright days, even though there's dark times at the back. But I try all the time. I always say this: make happiness your default mood, because now when you're happy, everything else just goes accordingly. Put that in the universe. Put that in the energy space. Like, always have the positive energy all the time. Don't think negatively of anything. Don't doubt yourself. Don't belittle yourself. Like, don't say anything from your mouth about yourself that is just negative, because then once that's out, it becomes reality. Then it becomes a thing of, I knew it. Then you just dwell into that energy, dwell into that mood. So if happiness is your default mood, if you're always smiling, and Neto and the beautiful miss that is with us right now, speaking generally on mental issues, just generalizing, and then next week we're gonna have the actual psychologist in studio, where I'm gonna attack him, be like, but what's the point? what is the, but because I'm sure a lot of people feel the same way too. What's the point? Like I've already gone through what I went through. Like what is the point? So that's what we need to know. What is the point exactly to be speaking to a psychologist, and what are the mental issues that we face as a students and as a society as a whole? So these are the news on.
And this psychologist must tell us, why are South African students such bavarists? What does he think is going on?
Nice to go.
Oh, the music you want. What you made me do. The music you need.